There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man.
Puffy was Usher. Now, one person didn't know what the saddest thing in the world is what they did to Justin Bieber.
What was that?
That's sad.
What'd they do to him? Because there's a lot of speculation out there, but nobody. I mean, I've heard things.
That's sweet.
When he was a kid.
I hate to say that. But I hate to say that because I really like Justin Bieber. I feel bad for Justin Bieber.
Goes, oh, are you going back? And they go, yeah, you could just jump on our jet back tomorrow morning. We're leaving at, 6, 7 a.m. So Justin goes, fine, I'll meet you there. So they go there. They're running a little bit early. They go show up early, and they get on their plane, and Justin Bieber is there sucking a black man's cock.
No.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
Just real quick before we get into today's video, I want to state that I am almost at 98,000 subscribers, and I want to say thank you so much. And I want to just let all of my avid and loyal supporters know that for the very first time ever on this channel, I will be going live once I hit 100,000 subscribers. I've never done it before. It's just not something I ever got into, but I will do a Q&A once I hit 100,000 subscribers. I anticipate that that'll happen here in the next week or so, so please be on the lookout for that. Now let's get into today's video. Welcome back to another episode of Diddy Got a Podcast, and of course I'm your host Diddy. Listen, I'm going to start this episode by saying when it comes to victims, we take that extremely serious over here on this channel. A lot of you all follow the channel because of my Allie Carter videos, and whether you choose to believe the woman or not, what she represents and what she stands for is justice, and I support what it is that she stands for. She supports a lot of these victims, and she wants a lot of these powerful people to be held accountable. We do not do victim shaming on this channel unless the so-called victim has sinister motives themselves, or we believe that they may be lying about what they're talking about. But other than that, man, we want justice for victims, regardless if it's a man or a woman, which is part of the reason I was super shocked when I went onto the podcast called Pop in Politics, that YouTube channel full of women, a podcast full of women. I was shocked when they told me just the other day that the Epstein list is not that big of a deal. The cover-up that's coming from the Trump administration is not that important. There's much more important things in the world to be dealing with right now than holding world leaders and other powerful politicians and people in the industry responsible for what is alleged as a blackmailing ring led by or partially led by Jeffrey Epstein, where the victims were mostly women. Yet I have a panel full of mostly women on a podcast telling me this is not that big of a deal. But you got to expect that when there are people who are willing to defend Trump to the end of the earth, even if it means it comes at the expense of female victims, which blows my mind. And again, I don't care if it's a female or a male. If you're a victim, you're a victim. Which brings me to today's topic, Justin Bieber. We've covered Justin Bieber several times on this channel. I'll link it here if you all, or one of these corners, if you all want to check out those videos. I don't want to be too repetitive in this video, but I do want to cover a different angle because an international model by the name of Barbara Stoyanov just did an interview with Sean Atwood where she made some crazy claims, man. And if you all remember, Terrence Howard a few months ago went viral because he had some very interesting things to say about Justin Bieber, and he actually said Justin Bieber's name. He put a name on it.
A lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. They got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because you get fluid, and next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. Things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. It's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men, you don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to. That's what my assistant said. Okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
Now my thing with that is, I understand what he says and I agrees, right? As a man, your manhood is everything, right? It's your dignity, it's your integrity, it dictates how you see and feel about the world. And if somebody takes that from you, it can destroy a person. It really can. But Justin Bieber came into the industry as a child, man. Like, I'm not saying that he's absolved of any wrongdoing altogether. I don't know that. But I know he came into the industry really, really young. We all saw the creepy video of him at whatever age it was when he spent the night or however long it was with Diddy. And especially with a lot of the stuff we know about Diddy now, it's terrifying watching that video. Watching them do interviews together and Diddy saying things like he know better than to say what he's doing with Big Brother Puff. Like just odd things, man. And you feel sorry for the kid. You do. Especially when you see that performance he did. It's a song he has called Lonely. And I covered that on this channel. And the performance, the song in itself is sad. But if you watch the performance, it's one particular performance that went viral. It's hard to watch that. It really, really is. And even Suge Knight, we covered that on the channel. Suge Knight, a few months ago, came out and said a lot of interesting things about Barack Obama, about P. Diddy, about other celebrities. But he also mentioned Bieber. He stated that he believes that Justin Bieber was quote-unquote broken in by Diddy, and not only that, but passed around to other powerful people in the industry. You had the attorney, I covered that on the channel, who said that she had a tape of a young celebrity with Diddy, who potentially has a bigger status than Diddy, who's seen on camera doing some very intimate things to some other men.
I was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
the
I can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video graphic in nature.
Oh my.
Well, now we're going to take a listen to what this model named Barbara had to say about what a very good friend of hers witnessed when it came to Justin Bieber. Take a listen.
I mean,
well, let's expand on them then, please.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of us invested in throughout the Diddy case was just how horrific we felt the Justin Bieber story within the Diddy sphere was this young man almost looked like he was given over by his parents, power of attorney, all of this. Touch a little bit about what you know about Bieber, if you don't mind, Barbara.
Okay, well, with Justin Bieber, I met Justin Bieber backstage at the Drake concert. I ended up backstage. My friends are in the music industry, so I said, "Hey guys, let's go get something to drink." So we go backstage. I get something to drink. My friends ended up on the other side of the backstage. I ended up by myself at the bar getting a drink, and then Drake goes, "Hey, it's prayer circle time." So this boy in a beanie grabbed my hand. He goes, "Hey, it's circle time." So I end up in prayer circle time with Drake, holding hands in a circle, and this guy grabs my hand next to me and says, "Okay, we're going to pray now." So I pray and we do the little circle. After we finish praying, I look over to my right, and it's this short little guy with the beanie, and he goes, "Oh, you want to go grab that drink?" I said, "Yeah." So we go grab the drink, and I finally figured out it's Justin Bieber. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So I grab a drink with him, and I said, "I'm here with my friends and I'm engaged. I'm not interested." And that was my story with him, how I met him. But I saw Justin out at nightclubs in New York. I saw him out in LA, but he was always with like a big group. Like a big group of like guys, girls. He was with, when I saw him, he was with Kelly Osbourne, and I think it was like Paris Hilton. It was like that kind of group. It was in Los Angeles. I had a friend that told me when he was in Canada after his show, they were planning to leave Canada to Los Angeles on a private jet, and it was taking off at 7 a.m. in the morning. So her nieces and nephews went to go see Justin Bieber perform the night before, and they got backstage, and Justin goes, "Hey, where are you from?" They go, "We're from LA." He goes, "Oh, are you going back?" And they go, "Yeah, you could just jump on our jet back tomorrow morning. We're leaving at 6, 7 a.m. So Justin goes, "Fine, I'll meet you there." So they go there. They're running a little bit early. They go show up early, and they get on their plane, and Justin Bieber is there sucking a black man's cock.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly. So they turned around. She got on the plane first, and before the children got on there, she turned around. She goes, "Okay, we're going back down to the car now. We're going back down to the car now," because she didn't want them to see him doing that.
Yeah.
He was with the black man, some black man. She said,
Just no easing us into it, no build up, just straight to the.
It was fellatio. He was giving fellatio.
Which ties into what Suge Knight told us. Suge Knight alleged that Diddy broke Bieber in, let's say, and then pimped him out to executives who Bieber would go on vacation with, just Bieber and a male executive, to these different places around the world. And when we put that out there, people were shocked and surprised, and some people found it hard to believe. But from what you're saying, you're kind of corroborating that as well.
It was after his concert. So he must have been up all night with whoever it was. And then they took him to the airport. I think they probably dropped him off, and he was giving them fellatio.
How old would you say he was at that time?
This was 2000. This was before COVID. I don't know, 17. Like it was like 16, 17, like around that time. Look on his tour. You can see when he went to Canada. It was in Canada. Mm-hmm.
Anything else you witnessed with Bieber, or any other rumors or stories?
About Bieber? That's all I know. That it's a fact. That's a fact. It's real. That's real. And I was confused too. I was like, well, why would he do that? And she goes, "I don't know. It's so weird. He's gay." So we're like, oh, he's gay. He likes what guys? So you just hear things here and there. But I did not see that. But that it's a fact. It was their plane. It was her plane. He was on her plane. I mean, look, I'm talking 20 years. I'm speaking out 20 years later because I was just kind of waiting for Diddy to get RICO'd, but that didn't work out too well.
Now, the first thing that came to mind for me is this is different. This wasn't like gossiping. It wasn't like they were making fun of Diddy or Justin Bieber, or trying to expose Justin Bieber. That's not what this was, and I believe most of you will be able to agree with me on that. It just seemed like she was more shocked. It seemed like she just wanted to share that, hey, my friend said she witnessed this. It threw her off guard. It shocked her, which makes the story that much more believable. It's not like she had other things to say. It's not like she bashed his character. No, she just shared an experience of what a friend told her. And I believe that this is true. Everything I'm saying in this video is alleged. I hope it's not true. But if I'm being honest, I believe that it's true. I do. Because they didn't even put a name on the other guy. They just said some black guy, right? And it just makes you wonder, who is this person? Why would he be doing that? And of course, I'm sure most of us remember this video right here of Justin Bieber in the nightclub with a few other celebrities, including Odell Beckham, where they're claiming that he was performing some things, doing some things that I'm not comfortable with saying, because I don't know if he was actually doing it or not. I know Jaguar Wright actually spoke on it, but this interview with the model reminded me of that. And for my Patreon members, I did a part 1 of a look behind the curtain when it came to the modeling industry and what the modeling industry is really rooted in. Jeffrey Epstein and his ties, Donald Trump's ties to the modeling industry. If you watched that video already, then you would know that if an international model who's seen and had a lot of success in the modeling industry, which isn't easy, by the way, we talked about that. There's a small percentage of models that actually win, while there's probably another 99% that never see that type of success for things completely out of their control. If you have a model who I'm sure has witnessed and seen some horrific and evil and sinister things in that industry alone, if she is coming out and saying this, and saying that she was waiting for Diddy to get hit with these RICO charges, which didn't really turn out the way that we thought it would, then it says a lot. It says a lot. And what's even more disappointing is that we thought, speaking of the Diddy trial, that maybe Justin Bieber's name was going to be mentioned, or maybe he was going to come testify. Some of us knew better than that. We really knew what this trial was about, but you couldn't help but to hope. You know what I mean? But I can't end this video without saying something that I haven't said before in all the Justin Bieber videos that I've made on this channel. His parents need to be held accountable as well. If this stuff comes out to be quote unquote proven, right? And it's not just hearsay, even if it's coming from credible people, his parents sold him over to the industry, allegedly, to Usher and Diddy. And at that young age, as a man who's not a father just yet, I can't help but to think, where is his father? I would lose my freedom quick, fast, and in a hurry if this was my little. I mean, it wouldn't be. Like, he wouldn't even get remotely close to the industry. But it's just mind blowing to me, man. Like when these stories come out about Bieber and how he was spiraling out of control, going after paparazzi. When you see him, he looks miserable. He doesn't look happy. I seen a comment the other day. Somebody said, I would rather work a 9 to 5 and be a regular person every day for the rest of my life than to ever spend an hour as a celebrity. And when you hear stories like this, it almost makes you wonder once again, what does it really take to make it to the top? What does it really take to become famous and have all these fans? Is it really based on talent, or are there other things that go into it? Not just politics, so to speak, but it gives credence to the quote unquote conspiracy theories or the rumors surrounding this wicked, wicked world, man. It really does. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And this Justin Bieber story just continues to be proof of that, in my opinion. Y'all in the comment section, as always, y'all give me y'all thoughts on what y'all think about this, man. Prayers for everybody mentioned in the video. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. I'm Demetrius. I go by Diddy. Until next time. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.